Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of our sloppy turbo manifold build. As you can see in our last time, we messed up a little bit. I had the templates backwards, so we had to make do with what we had. We got a little bit of a gap, but we're gonna work with it. And then if it doesn't pan out, we're like $60 material in the waste, and we'll try again with some new materials. Now, we did get a lot of feedback on these things, the little jigs that we used to mount the templates on last video. Nick at Black Sheep Industries was the one who made these. And unfortunately, not selling them because it just takes too long to 3D print them and it's really annoying. But if you guys want the template, you could probably hit him up on Instagram here at Black Sheep Industries Inc. And he might be able to hook you up with a template if you have someone to 3D print for you. Also, shout out to Spooling Up Performance for hitting 6,000 subscribers. As you guys know, I'm just really getting into fab work, so I don't really know how to do this. And because we messed up on our little template jig thing, I can't really use it. So we're just gonna have to wing it to try and get this one to fit in here. And I don't really know how to go about it. And we might just have to go in straight like that. Maybe ½ an inch off, so we have to take ½ an inch off this end to move this into the middle. Yeah, like my mask, I think we pretty much nailed this one. Look at this. First shot. And the gap's about the same on the back side. So we'll just need to clean this down, bevel it, and then we gotta mark our hole and cut that out too. But yeah, I think we nailed it. Better than this, and this. One more video from up here, okay? I promise. Seen that coming. The fuck? 2 in a row. So we've got our hole cut here, but before I think we continue on with this, I'm gonna weld this joint. That way if there's any like expansion or shrinkage or whatever it is and it moves a little bit, then we still have room to fix whatever it is if this twists at all. I'm just trying to think ahead. I don't wanna like get this all like ready to weld and then weld this one and it moves a little bit and then this one's off and then I look like a stupid idiot dumbhead. Don't wanna do it. Yes, I did already clean all this off. mean, it looks like it probably should hold. It's over here. That bench is too reflective. I did get the piece really hot. You can tell by how far out that, like, the coloration is, but I mean, it should hold. Now, I guess it's time to see if it moved. Well, not really. So while our piece is waiting to cool down a little bit, because I don't want to like throw hot sparks, if that makes sense, I'm going to clean up this piece, and we're just using a 40 grit flappy disc, and this thing's probably going to go flying off again. This is actually what we use to bevel it too. It's a lot easier to find. Like a grinding disc kind of like hooks and grabs and stuff, and this is just like smooth, and it doesn't even take that much longer. Now we're just going to take our die grinder thing with our carbide bit on it, and we're just going to bevel out where we need to make the hole for this thing. Now, before we go too much further, I did borrow a drill press from my friend Dan. He owns a BMW M4. Kind of cool, douchebag. We're gonna take this rectangle stock that I have, and we're gonna cut a piece off the length of our flange here. And we're gonna drill the holes in it so we can bolt the flange to this stock so we don't warp it when we actually weld to it. I had a marker not too long ago. So we're gonna go with something like, actually I have a measuring tape file. Probably just using measuring tape. 18 inches. Like not my penis. It's already like not flat, so it's probably from tack welding these already. Now we don't actually have the vise for this, so we're gonna have to wing it, I guess. Makes things so much easier. I don't know why I don't own one of these. One down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. Well, our first hole is drilled, and we're gonna swap to a bigger bit now. And you might be asking me, Kyle, why didn't I use this to drill a hole in the manifold like the hole saw? Well, I don't really have anything to hold it straight because there's no vise on this, so I just didn't want to like go down and like trying to hold it while it's trying to hole saw and like rip my arms off or some shit, right? Am I right? That's what I thought. Too dull. So I actually don't have any like sharp enough drill bits in the size that I need, so I'm going to use a stepper bit, and then I'm just going to drill the top sides and then flip it over and drill the bottom sides. Work with what you got, man. Which is not a lot. Hey! I didn't say you could do that. We just have some regular like 8mm bolts that we're just gonna bolt it together with. Now I know this build might not be as interesting as some of the other guys who just have the best of the best and they just order it and then have someone else install it and they go racing every weekend. Well, that's not a reality for someone like me. So I prefer to do things that I enjoy, and fabricating is definitely one of those things that I'm having really a lot of fun with and learning new skills. And it's pretty rewarding. So now, the only thing is, where do we cut this pipe? I didn't actually check where I wanted the turbo. Maybe we should tack weld that one on, and then we'll pull it off, put it on the car, and then see how it looks. Good idea, Kyle. So I changed my mind. I'm going to work on getting the front part of the manifold made. This is where I would like the turbo. This is going to give us room to grow. We can still put an air filter right here. Worst case, you put like a 90 and you put an air filter down there somewhere. I know it is going to be sucking a little bit of hot air from the radiator. I'm not too concerned about that. The main thing is we're going to be able to have a big fat downpipe on this. It wanted to go out the fender last time because our hole was cut in the fender somewhere right here. And I want to be able to utilize that. We're not going to have room to be able to go back here and put a 3-inch pipe here. And then if we want to run a pipe out the side of the fender here, you kind of risk like getting your coil packs hot. So this is the way we're going to do it. There's lots of wiggle room if we wanted a larger frame turbo here. So we have to come from this up to here somehow. So we're gonna have to make like at least a couple cuts and maybe have to get some more pipe. Didn't really think this through. Can't really cut it with the header or the flange here. So I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna use this as a mark because I know that this thing's probably straighter than what else I have. Shavings when flying. Now since we broke our tack welds on our flange, we got to re-tack weld it up so we can bolt it to the car to find out our next bend for this, but it was way easier to cut that with the chop saw and re-weld it than it was to try and cut it with a grinder. Okay, if we want to have a little look-see here, our manifold's back in place. We cut up some of these, so this was our 90. Thinking something like this, then a straight piece, and then a little bit of a bend at the end here. And it just has to be roughly in this area. It's not have to be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to tack weld these two up. This is our 90 and the rest of our straight. Let's just see where that fits. This might be hard to do with the camera in my hand. I'm trying to show you guys. So if we go here and here. Oh, this piece is still hot. I need my other glove. Sick. So I'm going to tack weld these up, and then I'm going to bevel this one and see what we can do. And now while that's cooling down, I'm gonna go clean up our other little elbow here. So I'll clean this one up and bevel both sides of this. And then we'll take that piece that we just made and we'll mock it up on here. We'll make our mark. We'll pull this off, we'll bevel this one, and then we'll get that piece tacked to this one. Get our angle, get our another little sliver and put it on there. And get our flange and put it on and get all this little snake tacked up and then build this last little elbow leg. It's a lot more work than I first anticipated, but learning, man. From today, from the last video, I've actually learned a bit and it's been going a lot faster and smoother this time than it was last time. So this one's still hot, but I'm gonna try and tack weld them together. And by hot, I mean like hot AF. Don't touch anything. Now let's put it back on the car without burning myself. Probably next to impossible. Here's where we're at. This is the last piece we have here. If we tack weld that on and put our flange on that, I will not be mad about that. Like the positioning wise, because I can always clock this a little bit to make up for it, but like it's going to be around the same area that I exactly wanted it. Another round of grinding and beveling. Now I did already tack weld our little elbow here to the flange. We do have a bit of filling to do and a bit of dremeling to make a bit smoother flow in there, but not too concerned about it. We'll be able to fill it. Welders can fill any hole. Get it? That was a penis joke. Now we just have to somehow find our mark on this one. Right there. Time to test fit it again for the millionth time. I love it though, it's actually kind of fun. The only thing is, like, I'm out here so long that I forget to eat and now I'm really hungry. It's like noon and I haven't eaten yet today. Need some pussy. Get that V. Look at it though. I need my hat so I can look cool. Hey, look at it. This bolt isn't that fun to put in anymore with this ratchet. Or this long extension, I should say. Let's get our turbo, see if it fits. Our flange is at a bit of a crooked angle because I probably welded to the wrong line. You know what? I'm not even mad about that. I am mad about that. I needed it this way more. Yeah. I need to cut that flange off and make it straight now. Why'd it do that? I'm pretty sure I have my lines correct. So I think we got it right this time. And we're gonna weld it upside down, I guess. I guess I could tack it on the inside too. Probably. I moved it! Fuck! Hey, that looks a lot better. Now let's see what happens when we put our turbo in here. Hey, it fits. Fits well too. Let's clock this. I bet we'll break our tack welds if we start hanging stuff off it, but... How's that? I just hope my tack welds hold up. Then we got a perfect shot here. It'd be like a little bit of an angle. Come down and it's gonna come out somewhere right here. Somewhere in this area. We don't have room for an air filter. Yeah. We'll just have to make like a nice 90 and put the air filter down right here somewhere, I think. Right there. Be perfect. Overall, that looks perfect. I like it. It's like exactly what I wanted. The only thing I don't like now is that I chunked out a big bunch of this. But what I might do is I might build like a coolant reservoir right here to cover up half of this so it doesn't look so stupid. Look at it. It looks so good. And now we can mount our wastegate like right here as well too. Let's see, we'll grab it. Maybe not, it's huge. I forgot how big it is. Just like that. Or it can even go underneath, I guess. Those coolant lines, I didn't mind leaving them like that because I can always weld to that water pump. That's not a big deal. Weld 90s on them, go underneath the manifold or something like that, or weld, come up over top and run into here, or just cap them off. Something like that works too. That just means we have to re-weld up our turbo. I think I still have the piece for it. Yeah, so we can always weld this back into the turbo. Actually, I'll put it up here so I know where it is. And now I'll lose that for sure. But that's where we're gonna end it today. We have one more runner to build and then some final welding up, and then we'll build our exhaust and our charge piping. But this is like super fun, and it turned out great. Like, I like the way it turned out. It's way better than our old setup.
PCs, get that V.
You would just ruin the outro now. I guess I just gotta show my V now.